from each other, but together to share something of the meaning of Maundy Thursday with you. Maundy Thursday is a beautiful and warm liturgy similar to this song of Love Unknown. The evening tells the story of Jesus with his disciples in the scary backdrop of fearful arrest and potential crucifixion. Jesus gathers close with his disciples. And three stories come together in the liturgy that night. The first is the Lord's Supper, where Jesus instituted those words, "Do this in remembrance of me," taking bread and wine, saying they are like his body and blood. And then the washing of the disciples' feet after that meal. Jesus stripped and donned the clothes of a servant, getting on the floor and washing his disciples' feet to show how far his love would go. And finally, Jesus prays in the Garden of Gethsemane and asks his Father in heaven to take this thing from him that he was going to have to do, but in the end surrendering and saying, "Not my will, but yours be done." These three stories are more than stories. They become powerful remembrances in the church. Our Holy Eucharist, our acts of embodying Christ's love through outreach and service to one another and to the world in need, and our own prayer, communal prayer and individual prayer. Embody these stories in the ongoing life of Christians and the church everywhere. With Jesus' arrest and crucifixion imminent, instead of hiding and running away, Jesus instead uses the time to draw close to his disciples, to give them a sort of living parable of how God is with us in our suffering. That God does not run and hide, God does not stand off aloof from us in our suffering, but like Christ, draws ever closer to us in the ways that we are anxious and worried and hurting. The suffering of Jesus relates to our suffering world and reveals that God's love is deep and abiding and conquers even death. So tonight you will no doubt have a meal at home. Maybe it'll be simple and you will be by yourself. Maybe you will be with your family. Trust that Christ's presence is with you even in your own domestic realities, no matter what they are. And draw close to Christ in your meal tonight, as if you are drawing close to Christ at church through our community. There are prayers and readings, just a short little service that you can do with your meal tonight, so that you can have a sense of God drawing close to you in whatever is going on in your life. I want to leave you with the memory of one of our most wonderful saints, Julian of Norwich, an English saint from the 15th century. Julian comes to mind to me because she suffered greatly physically. Julian is a saint because she reached out for God in her suffering and said, "God, let this be more than something that I'm physically going through in my life. Let this be a spiritual lesson to me." And in that prayer, God answered her with these showings and revelations, words and visions of how Christ suffered and how Christ is with Julian in her suffering. Over and over again in the showing, she says, and God showed me this little thing. God showed me who is nobody this great love. God showed me how Christ's suffering was a place of Christ's outpouring love for the world. Her famous words ring true to me. I hear them in this beautiful hymn that Josh is singing. And I pray that this promise that Julian heard is a promise that you can take in and make real in your own life. Julian said, in all of this, God showed me that all shall be well, all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well.